after the KSI fight, I almost had a phobia of YouTube. Waffling, part of launching that was them doing me a favour. We're back at a point where I'm working with the Sidemen boys again, like that is sick, because they must have thought I hated them. I saw all the worst parts of me and what I do to feed them. I can do the moves.
Yeah.
I can sell the moves.
Yeah.
Go on, punch me in the face.
Yes!
Let's
We're
go!
here! Training video with Mr. Weller!
Let's
Come
go.
on!
REEV plays FIFA Mafia. We've missed you and we're back ready to rumble.
This is the first outdoor rooftop gym we've ever experienced as well. So shout out Bodymaster Gym in Dubai. We are here in the UAE for a training session. It looks like you want to try the specs on what's going on.
I really do.
Go on, put them on.
Thank you. Ready?
Whoa,
guys.
there we go.
Yeah, I reckon let's start with a bog standard bit of legs.
Wait, really?
Yes. What I normally do is I'd rep out, so I'd do like 50 squats.
Yeah.
And then actually do like immediately like 20 bench presses.
That's a lot of reppage.
What do you think about that?
I think we should just do whatever you want to do.
All right, let's do it then.
Right.
Let's do it, everyone.
I can't even like running shoes.
Yeah, innit? We normally
I tell people not to do this, and I'm just
like,
doing it.
Take your shoes off.
Yeah.
So you're more connected to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that.
Just shoes or anything
Just like, we could take everything off if you want. Right, let's go. Shoulder width apart.
Okay, right.
3, 2, 1, 50.
Dude, I've forgotten already. I don't really know.
11.
We've definitely done more than 15 here.
Oh no, 50 is what I normally do, but we can...
Oh, I thought we said 15.
No, 50.
Jesus, you really go for it. Content creation for you over the years has changed quite a lot. What do you reckon the most rewarding content you upload is now?
I think the one that I get something out of, aside from the video, what do I want to do? To actually just have fun.
That's a good way of thinking about it, yeah.
Very easy to get bogged down in what will do well, what will get me the most views and get me the most adulation. Wow, you're so good, you're so this. Like, what, aside from making a YouTube video, would be the most fun? And for me, it is the traveling.
When did it become no longer a game of I seek to be affirmed and rewarded by other people to like, I'll just do what I want to do?
I think it's like where I took the step away from YouTube. I basically quit YouTube and went, I'm gonna go solo traveling for as long as I want to and just see what happens. And like, I didn't film, I didn't do anything at all. And it just made me realize like, there's so much to film out here that would actually be fun.
Is that what made you come back then?
Yeah, because I was like, you know, riding on just getting the feedback, getting the views. I'd maybe make one video, like the Amazon rainforest video, which you know did really well. Really good video, and like loved it. But it's like you can't do that regularly, and it's not like fun. It's just like a sick video. Yeah, I think it was just like if I'm going to come back and be able to, even if the audience is a fraction of the size, like on views wise, it needs to be something that I can do regularly.
Does that bother you now?
What, as in that the views are lower?
Yeah, that it's not like.
I think in an ideal world, you want as much people to enjoy what you make.
Yeah.
Just a different number on a screen.
Yeah,
really,
absolutely.
Like it actually is at the end of the day, isn't it?
It depends how you value what matters to you. Is it extrinsic measured or like?
What do you like? How do you feel about it?
I'm following your course. I'm doing the stuff that I actually want to make rather than stuff that I feel people wanted to watch me for. Do you find that Joe Weller the persona does better than Joe Weller the person? Because you can be quite caricature.
Isn't that a freaking like meze board? Was it? No, it's was it?
Charcuterie.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean?
Like a cartoon version of yourself almost.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's almost like when I get the zoomies.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. I know what that sounds like because people call me like a golden retriever in human form. So it's the same sort of.
Yeah, it just can definitely like.
What dog are you?
I could be a little cockapoo.
Oh, I do see that a little bit.
Very little.
They have a lot of energy too.
But they have a lot of energy and they're
also,
very loving.
We are doing no work here.
We aren't. We're just yapping.
Yeah.
Should we get onto another
where do you want to go?
Should we do some bog standard chin-ups?
Guys, we're so close to a mil. Just click subscribe, please.
Do it.
That's going to convince them.
Come on then. 3, 2, 1.
What's one moment that's made you truly fulfilled?
I think when you do something that's a little bit pioneering, there's not all this evidence of how to do it, and you go out there with an idea, bring it to life, and it f***ing works. That's like, I think, the most fulfilling thing. So that Amazon rainforest documentary is that first of its kind, like doing the survival stuff. I went through a pretty rough period in my personal life when I got back from that, and I had to just plow on and still turn it into something, and I did. I think that's the most fulfilling.
So do you find fulfillment more from the career and content side of things or from living life? Because the Amazon rainforest is kind of a hybrid of both.
What's so weird is that, like what I was saying before about, okay, what you got to do, what's most fun in order to be consistent, in terms of the most fulfilling.
But less purpose
it's often the stuff that's the hardest. With content creation, I think it's got to just be like putting together like what you want to do, an idea that you have, and bringing it to life. And that may be a series, that may be a one-off video, that may be a collab. Like, what would you say it is for you?
Nothing to do with my job.
Yeah.
I find most fulfillment from taking my dog for a walk with my mum and dad. or that soppy but like like at the end of the day, I don't want this to be how I remembered life. I want it to be like I was a good person. I love my family.
You find that your job, and the more obsessive you get with that,
I become a worse person.
Yeah, make you a worse person.
Yeah, 100%. I get bogged down in numbers, I get bogged down in what people think of me, and I go, oh, all of these comments are so nasty to me. Why should I just not brush it off and be just a bad person to people I love? Then you ruin the relationships with people around you because you take the negativity of that and you apply it into situations where you should be vulnerable and open. Why am I letting people that are totally anonymous dictate the rest of my life?
Say if we've got like a tub of care and investment, if you put too much of it into your career and making videos, do you find that you accidentally may neglect the other parts of your life?
Yeah, and then I retrospectively look back and go, actually I care more about that, so why am I...
Are we all just
Maybe,
like,
mate.
Is it just one big dopamine fucking chase? Like,
oh, it absolutely is. But I think once you're aware of that, you can control it a little better.
Yeah, because I think that was part of like why I took the step away as well. It's like, I don't want to just be like chasing this thing that I think almost validates me.
Yeah.
If I'm getting these views and this reaction, then I feel like, yes, I am fulfilling my purpose of who
you
I
feel
am.
like you're enough, but being enough is dictated by other people that watch you on the screen.
Yeah, when in reality, is it about just being a good person?
From in there.
From in your heart,
exactly,
your soul.
Right, let's actually do some work.
Yeah, let's do work.
Because I've played for a f***ing gym pass.
Yeah, innit? Come on. Right, what are we on?
You choose again. You're creeping back into the boxing world.
It's difficult with boxing. I would never just do it for fun. I love difficulty, like I love a challenge. But when you're actually like damage to your head, it's not just a challenge. For the sake of money, for the sake of like battering someone and giving them the worst night of their life.
You trade your health for cash a little bit, don't
and
you?
someone else's, like,
and
true. Obviously knowing what it's like to be like the person on the other side.
Yeah.
Like you've got your hands ready. Yes, everyone loved me as a result of giving you basically trauma.
Yeah.
It's like
there's
other ways.
There's very few people that will have known what your situation feels like.
Yeah, because obviously as you're watching, it's just like, oh, just have fun, just have a scrap. And I think I would prefer it to just be like, right, the fight's tonight, let's just go. Rather than it's the rounds of sparring, it's the weeks leading up to it that you're just taking damage and you're like, this is actually taking years out of my brain health. But I respect anyone that does it.
Of course.
But I just think,
is there ever a return on the horizon for you? Or was it
there literally was.
Does it have to be the correct person and a correct reason why for you to do it?
I think my mindset would have to change in terms of like I've done it enough now that the damage and the like what it actually does for me, like mentally, like I don't see that being worth anything. Right now, I'm actually fine just doing what I want to do rather than feeling like I almost need to come back to show everyone I can fight. Look at me, I'm a scary monster. Way!
You have reason in yourself that you are enough. You don't need that validation from someone else or a group of people to lift your arm.
And I think that's what came from taking a step back from the YouTube world and just doing what I want to do, doing the traveling. It was like, oh wait, no, this is actually what I want to do. You need to find that thing rather than what you feel like you're supposed to do and what others say you should do. What do you want to do?
Absolutely. Do you still ever get moments of imposter syndrome? Are you too established now to think
it can flip-flap, but when I'm by myself, it can get a little bit like shit. I feel like little boy Joe. When the second I'm in like the YouTube space, like the second we're rolling, it's like I know
it's slightly different. It's slightly you obviously not to break the fourth wall or anything, but you're a great guy regardless. But camera Joe is very different to 24/7 Joe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, off camera, probably like more quiet. I don't know, just chilled. But then the camera's rolling. It's almost like, this is my friend. We're here to have fun. I kind of get excited.
It's almost like a semi-crutch. Like there's a moral support there because you know that there's other people on the side of that. You are just a natural content creator, I think.
Yeah. And I think there's some people that obviously like worked into this and like learned to do the camera thing, whereas I feel like there's a chance to, is it showing off? I don't know, maybe an element, but...
Have you always been an entertainer then?
To be fair, the one thing my dad did when I was growing up, he'd set a camera up on a tripod when I was about 4 years old.
Oh, preconditioning.
I would entertain myself for hours.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just like literally be looking at this and like getting stuff up and just like, I don't know, and it's mental how that's then been what I've gone into.
Yeah.
Maybe there is an element of that.
I think childhood does semi-define your destiny a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I did drama school and stuff like that. But like theatre and like proper acting, etc. So being in front of a camera is not. I don't find that alienating.
But there was a period where I did lose it, and it was like I was scared of the camera. It was like after the KSI fight, I almost had a phobia of YouTube. I thought I knew exactly who you were, but then it became, I think, all the hate, all the horrendousness all flipped on his head. I was like, I don't even know who I'm talking to, and now I can't even. I laugh and joke because I'm like, you're my friend, and it didn't feel like you were my friend anymore. So it's kind of like you can't laugh and joke with someone who just hates you.
Yes.
Right. So that I just completely lost that ability to almost have fun on camera. Yeah. Somehow it's come back. Which
Did
is
the
good.
pod reignite that a little bit?
Waffling.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Waffling helped bring that back, and you know those guys. I think they'll openly say they know that waffling. Part of launching that was them doing me a favour. We had a vibe.
Yeah.
It was like the cameras disappeared.
Yeah.
And it was just us.
There's there's authentic friendship there. It's very different.
And us being like friends from school.
Yeah, exactly.
That just enabled, and I think over time it helped me to get, I guess, my mojo back.
Absolutely.
Right, yo, what are we doing next then, Sham?
You pick, mate.
Yeah, we got some bog standard chess. Give me, Sham. How's it going?
Someone followed you guys here.
Followed us?
The suit guy. It must have been the suit guy.
It was like, but I saw this guy.
Is he not training then? He said he was going to train. Yeah. Shout out Body Master Gym, man. These guys are so friendly, man.
The sun in the eyes is good. Oh, thank you,
There you
Dad.
go. Questions are going to get a little bit deeper now, mate.
Yeah, we can get deep.
If they haven't been considered already. You're incredibly open about mental health, and I respect that a lot because I feel like more people need to be. How do you cope with all the highs and the lows?
It's mental actually, because I've tried many things over the years. When I was traveling, meditation really helped, mate, to actually have a moment when your brain is not being forced to do anything. You're not making it do anything. You're just being still. It's mental what that does. You can feel like I need to constantly be figuring stuff out, and that can almost, feeling like you need to take control of everything.
Yeah.
Can overwhelm you, whereas that allowing can make 30 minutes seem like 2 minutes. So meditating definitely helps. Quitting caffeine. I know we're having one today, but I was having caffeine every other day. Oh no, not every other hour almost.
That's
not
a very different time period.
Very different. Mate, something that I actually have become open to this winter, I just actually started having conversations with God.
Nice.
I don't know, some people will be like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm very agnostic in a sense that I believe something's there, but I just never...
Yeah, I think what it came down to is more than anything, surrendering to the fact that I don't have it all figured out.
Absolutely.
And actually just speaking, whether it be the source creator or the higher power or your higher self, whatever you want to call it.
There's a lot of ego to think that you are the centre of the universe and there's nothing bigger than your existence.
Yeah, having that conversation, just being what I say is I completely surrender to the fact that I don't have it figured out. I follow your plan completely, God, and I totally I love you, I know you love me.
Yeah.
Since doing that, mate, me, I do it every day, things have just clicked.
Have you developed that from visiting Eastern cultures, or has that been something that you've always thought about?
Well, I think, the thing is obviously it's very Buddhist out where I've been, which
absolutely.
Isn't about God, that's more just about the meditating.
Mindfulness and being present. Yeah,
100%. The more the meditating thing, but nothing has quite given me everything clicking into place, like surrendering to God pretty much. And obviously, I know placebo effect is a massive thing and all of that, but me, I've got enough feeling and evidence to suggest that this hasn't done nothing.
It doesn't also necessarily need to be the subject of God. It's just gratitude of being, I think, a little bit as well. Obviously, you can attribute that to someone in the sky looking down on you, but also it's just I'm alive. Life is good. If I owe that to someone, amazing.
It's weird though, but just having that, because I've done the whole thing of gratitude and done everything that you're supposed to do to be a good person and whatever, and I'd still find myself just depressed, down, anxious. It's only the one thing that has gotten rid of my depression and anxiety is surrendering to God, and that's all I know for certain. Ever since doing that, I don't feel any depressed feelings, and it's I'm totally able to engage with this life that I'm here to experience. And I do believe we've all come here to experience the life that we're experiencing for a reason.
Absolutely.
You decide to come into Ollie Fletcher's body, I've decided to come into Joe Weller and live this. So engage with it, play the game. We know there's something bigger. We know this isn't the be all and end all, but you've come here to experience this, so fully engage and lock in, and you will experience what you've come here to experience.
Do you do any Christian Catholic worship, or is it just a belief?
No, I don't get involved. No doubt.
Because religion is very different to faith.
No doubt. The religions, I believe that in every religion that's obviously been around for time, there's going to be things that you can take from it.
Yep.
But the whole culty sort of I don't get involved with that. I just have a relationship with God.
100%.
And
take out the middleman.
That's it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just it really. I've gone from wanting to fight everyone in the YouTube world and being bitter and seeing the worst in things and being so easily triggered to now just like, it's like I have this perspective that is almost
You relinquish your ego as well, though, don't you?
Yeah, it's almost like a bit of an ego death.
Absolutely, yeah.
And actually, when I was in Thailand, I did a big mushroom trip, very much ego death. I'm like, oh my God, I saw all the worst parts of me and what I do to feed them. Like things like sugar, things like caffeine, things like porn, things that we know are bad.
Vices, yeah.
Fuck me, how that feeds the bad side of you and almost welcomes like the devil in to like rule your brain.
Mate, it's 100%.
Fuck me.
Good wolf, bad wolf, which one do you feed?
Yeah, it's like everyone can welcome either their better side or their worst side in.
Absolutely.
And it's how you behave and what you do really does impact that.
The more you choose to be good and choose good things, whether that's nutrition, whether that's, you know, mindfulness practice, whether that's, you know, like cultivating relationship, they also make you just a better person generally.
When you're proud of the person you're being as well. Obviously there's physical, literal, like putting natural good stuff in your body, like you're gonna have a better reaction.
100%.
But actually the person that you are being, if you're proud of that person, you're gonna be more loving, you're gonna see the better things in the world, you're gonna be the better version of you. Whereas when you don't like yourself, fuck me, you're gonna project it onto 100%. Everyone.
I didn't think you were this spiritual though, but that's why I love doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because it's not just I don't train and go, oh, like, you've been eating well, you like lift weights and stuff. My aim is to bring the deepest parts out of people.
Yeah.
And it's great to be a part of that conversation. To ask the questions and see people's faces light up about stuff that they care about the most.
Like so many people will relate to this, like going around training with their buddies and may feel like they need to like live up to this macho man or seeming like they're hard as nails, but actually these are the sort of combos that you can have at the gym that actually you make it more than just an exercise physically, like mentally as well, and feeling part of something.
Is there any part of your journey looking back that you would change? Because I know a lot of the time, if you were to do research on trauma, a lot of people say that they wouldn't change it because of the person they are at the end point.
Yeah, that's the thing. I do believe that everything does happen for a reason, and like the difficulty.
I did ask that thinking that you would just give this response.
Well, the difficulty that you go through as it's happening may just be like, this is just detrimental, but in the long run, you're like, this is the payoff from that difficulty.
It is difficult in the moment to know.
Yeah, you may not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel of like, how is this possibly beneficial? Like now, having the confidence to do what I'm doing after overcoming all the obstacles and like setbacks, clearly didn't just have that.
When shit stuff happens to you now, do you know in the moment, it'll be like, okay, I know I can get through this, there's something at the end for me?
Yeah, well, I definitely see it as like, what if something happens to you, it's not like, oh fuck, toys out the pram and why is life against me? It's like, right, this is here for me to overcome.
Opportunity now.
It's like me literally arriving in Dubai yesterday, boom, stand up off the plane, whole camera falls on the floor and breaks, light breaks, camera breaks. It's like brilliant. Now I like, what the f come here to film? Before, that would actually, I'd probably just get all bunged down about that and get all livid and get all whatever. But it's like, whether it's something small like that or a bigger thing like a massive loss or whatever, it's like everything can be used in a way to build your character and not destroy it.
Almost feels like you're just more equipped now.
Yeah, it's like whatever happens, it's like this is obviously meant to be happening, and it's how I react to it and how I utilize it in a good way, in a positive way, rather than let it defeat me.
Are there any takeaways that you can tell people directly now how to combat those things? Because sometimes people that are in it, they do feel like there's no end.
You can feel like anything that's negative or not ideal, you can just associate with like, oh, this always happens to me. This is just who I am. Oh, classic, this is my luck. Equally, everything can just be viewed as, right, how can I utilize this in a positive way? I genuinely believe that like whatever it is that you're going through, it's just how can I utilize this?
What are some methods that you use in that moment that it's like really, because sometimes people just need direct instruction.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to say, guys, it'll, you know, eventually it'll end. Like you'll get through this, you'll learn something from it. But like in the moment, maybe breath work, maybe like...
Well, this is the thing, like, don't get me wrong, like, you may need to just express yourself. Something's shit. Don't go, right, this is going to be positive, mate, feel it. Go, fucking hell, this is so shit. I'm going to cry, let it out, I'm going to express the emotion, sleep on it. Tomorrow is a new day. Like, the way I see it, it's in the moment, there's not always like an easy, right, let me just think like this and it'll be fixed.
Correct.
Just like overnight, you don't grow 16-inch biceps. Muscle takes time to grow. Plants take time to grow. We take time to physically grow. And I feel it's the same with situations and anything. Like everything is actually a marathon, not a sprint. So I wouldn't say like, right now, boom, I can change my mentality and everything will be okay. But it's just holding on to the thing of like, if I don't give up and I allow, maybe I don't need to take action, maybe I need to do less and just allow today and just get through today. But but eventually not giving up will result in the outcome that you want, because this too shall pass. That's the mentality.
Good
do you know what I mean?
there. Bring a big boy in at the end.
And just make the most of it while it's here, and just be realistic and knowing that, yeah, there's going to be another obstacle and I'm ready for that. Whatever comes my way, I'm ready.
How do you keep motivated?
Not working. There's certain things that you can do to kill your motivation. Eating food, gut is so connected to the brain.
Absolutely, yeah. I've learned that more over the most recent years, yeah.
Yeah, man, so like what I put in my body massively contributes to how I feel, but also I feel like looking at exhausting your dopamine centers in a totally artificial and like fucked up way. The little monkey in your brain, its ultimate goal is to reproduce, and if you've told it that it's completed that not only once but multiple times in a way that's totally unrealistic
and unsuccessful, because it hasn't.
Yeah, it's like it feels so satisfied that it's like, why am I now going to be motivated to like work?
Yeah.
To do this other human thing that's not
genuinely
not real.
Did you wank a lot then?
Clipped.
Yeah, after every fucking great thing we've said so far in this, that's the thing that's going to go most viral. Yeah.
Every single day without fail, like before bed sends you to sleep. Class. It's this ideal thing that gets you through life, but like the difference in how I felt motivationally with like tapering that away is actually mental.
Just the one thing. That's the one thing.
I'd say that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is stop working relentlessly to that's so unrealistic.
I feel like you're a bit of a perfectionist.
I'm massive, and it can be debilitating. Like if you're a perfectionist, it can paralyze you.
Yeah.
And I've definitely been guilty of that. So just,
and now are you more progress over perfection?
Yeah, putting something out will at least build the momentum. You'll learn from it.
Yeah. There's literally nothing to learn from if you don't produce.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And as well, like I'd say, just do the thing that you wanted to do. Do something towards it, because you can only think so far. Like people try to think their way out of problems or think their way to the solution of what they're trying to do, but you can only think so much. Like just get out there and do it, and half the time once you're out there doing it, you realise, fucking hell, the way I thought this was going to go is actually different, and I wouldn't have known this until I actually got out there. So yeah, building momentum through action.
People think it's the reverse. People think that, you know, momentum comes or motivation comes and then you act. It's the exact opposite. You act and then you get that motivation,
it's like
momentum.
The idea of motivation by like, I want to do this thing, that's like the start. Get out there, do the thing. Now more motivation comes.
Yeah.
And then learn some lessons, more motivation comes.
Oh, sorry, did I get you? Did I actually get you?
Yeah.
Oh shit, sorry.
Good.
You ready for the charity match?
Yeah, man, like obviously I only got announced like last week. Unreal to even be back in a position where like...
Should stress this is before it happening.
Yeah. It's mental to
Congrats on the hat trick, by the way, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Manifest it, you should manifest something. Say it to the camera.
I have just scored a hat trick at Wembley Stadium, and I am so happy about it.
To go 1-0 up. Weller, left foot. That's how he likes it. Oh, it's in. Oh, it's great save. Scramble.
To be back at a point where I'm working with the Sidemen boys again, like that is sick, because our relationship, like they must have thought I hated them. I didn't. I just felt very like, I don't know, like
scorned a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was almost like, I thought these people were my friends, and were they not? Was it all just business? And maybe it was, but like, yeah, to be at a point now where we're playing, and we're doing things together again.
I also don't think that necessarily in certainly the UK YouTube friend circle that there are relationships like that. I think it's just people misconstruing other people. I don't think necessarily anyone, or certainly that I know, is that natured. Do you know what I mean? You yourself have earned that right to be back in a position that you are. Like the work you've done on yourself is the reason that.
I mean, to rebuild the relationships, it's more of, you know, I'm happy with who I actually am now.
Exactly.
You know, I definitely was a bit bitter and a bit like, I don't deserve this. Why is this happening to me like back in the day? And to now be at a point where it's like, you know, I am enough in who I am, and now I can operate with more, like, I guess, love.
Yeah.
But yeah, charity match. I've been doing a bit of training, been doing sprints and
more cardio stuff.
Yeah, a lot more cardio, but obviously I've been ill the past 2 weeks, so that's the most frustrating thing as well. Me, when you
You'll
get
be
ill,
fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be all good. I'm thinking that like the likes of like Phantom and a lot of the American guys and whatnot, like they might not be fit, so like fitness might play a big role.
Are you going to try to play the 90?
Yeah, ideally, but I don't know what team I'm on yet.
Surely it's Sidemen, no?
For the storyline, you would have thought that it would be Sidemen FC.
No, you're back in with the crew, lad, but you're on the other team. Guys, we're so close to 1 million. Just click subscribe, please.
Do it.
That's going to convince them. How many subs are you on now?
5.3 million. But obviously, a lot of that was curated like earlier on in my career. It's still mental though, like because you get normalised to it. Like back then, when like each video was getting like 5 mil views, you get to a point where you're like, well, it's standard. Obviously, like, you know, coming back into it, like views are a fraction of that. But it's like, fuck me, to have 5 million people. Like the population of Ireland is like 5 million. Like what? And like I hear the Sidemen boys like, oh yeah, this video we've got coming out this weekend, it's going to be a bit of a stinker. like it's not our best,
Yeah,
and 6 million views.
yeah.
What? It's very easy to get desensitized to what you have and what you are.
Yeah.
That it's so important to like reflect on that and be like what you actually have. You probably got a lot to be grateful for, you know.
How do you define success?
Success is through valuable connection. Like rather than surface level, I much more enjoy having like an actual connection where we've had a positive impact on someone rather than just them clicking on, manipulating their brain to get what I want from them, and that's it.
Do you want children?
Curveball.
Yeah.
Mate, it's fucked because I can't see how that is a good idea to have children.
Really?
Like, right now, I'm literally like...
I think you'd be a great dad.
In certain ways, I'm like, I could be very, you know, the guidance and the advice and whatnot, but the actual like hands-on...
Do you not think you've worked on yourself so much that like having a child and being able to impart those lessons that you've learned now?
Once they're about 11 years old. Because it's the baby thing. My sister had kids.
Well, you could do the voice to them.
I could, but it's not, I just, maybe part of my learning and improving as a human is to be able to withstand and have the patience of a child. But right now, I see that as the most surely just like inconvenient, stressful.
They are the best of us though.
Ruining your life.
Yeah.
Which is an awful thing to say, and if they ever
You
watch
got-
this back,
You got a dog? You got a dog?
well, family does, but I don't have one.
Ah, see. You get a puppy, mate. That's the gateway.
Are you like 100% I want kids without a doubt?
That's the only thing I think I've been born to do.
Really?
Be a father,
so I don't
yeah.
have that at all.
And that's the only thing I want in life, I think.
Why? But do you not see it's like they're surely
I don't know.
well
Well,
annoying.
I don't know. When I grew up, I wanted to be a paediatrician, which was a doctor for children. I wanted to be a teacher. Not like that. Come on, man. They're the best of us, and I want to
What
raise.
makes you think this?
Children are the best, man. Not in a. Come on, mate.
No, I'm not saying it in a dodgy way. I'm like genuine because I would love to have that mentality. Part of me is like, I really wish I had that, but
Do you
I
not
can't see it
think
clearly.
the purity and innocence of children is like they're the best of humanity? Everything we aim for as adults is to become more childlike.
No, I would agree with that. Like but it's in like the relentlessly, you can't sleep at night because they're keeping you up all night, every night. Like, what are you doing about
That's
that?
the sacrifice. That's the trade-off, mate.
For what?
To develop a person that's better than you.
Well, you could just develop yourself, or is that really selfish?
As an adult, I feel like that is kind of selfish.
Really?
But I don't know if that's an alienating opinion.
But because that's what I feel about myself. When I have the view that I seem to have,
we are
I
at very
feel
different stages,
selfish.
though. I am engaged. I am.
How
looking
old
for,
are you?
I'm 30.
I'm 29 in a couple of days.
You're not 29 yet.
I think it's where as well, like where, it's getting a little bit deep now. My dad obviously left when my mum was pregnant with me. And he was like, well, clearly it wasn't enough for him to want to engage with being a father.
Yeah, but the point is, that's technically trauma for you, and you seem to overcome every traumatic thing that's happened to you. You're not a person that takes the fork in the road that follows. So the opposite would mean that you are going to be a really good dad and give everything that yours didn't.
Yeah. So I guess where I see the child thing is like, I know I wouldn't not be able to give my absolute everything to that child, but it's like that child would surely just mean that I switch off everything that make me who I am, and now I'm living for someone else. But maybe that is, like you say, that is being selfless, that is being a good human, that is being all the things that we're actually here to do.
Yeah.
And for some reason I'm scared of that. But
also, I feel like when you get to that stage and you do have offspring, it's no longer your life, your heart, your soul, blah blah blah. You're living vicariously through that person then as well, aren't you? So everything that you want for yourself, you now want it for that person.
Yeah. Do you think we've had previous lives?
Possibly.
Because I'm wondering if you can relate to that feeling because you've had it before in a previous life.
Don't know.
And I wonder if there's any element of that.
You do the ghost stuff, but do you believe in that sort of?
The past life stuff, I do. I feel like I'm an older soul.
Right.
I feel like I've done this rodeo quite a few times.
Yeah.
It's funny, during one of the actual mushroom trips, geezer I met in the Philippines, I felt like when we met, it was like I sort of knew him.
Yeah.
Anyways, a month later, we do this mushroom trip in Thailand, and we have this, basically, we don't talk the whole time, and we're talking telepathically, though. And we leave our bodies, we get taken
Most people would laugh at that.
Yeah.
So.
Mate, we get taken to this other, dimension, it seems, and shown by this spirit our previous lives, where we've actually seen each other before.
Wow.
And it was almost like, it was weird, because obviously we had this thing where we recognised each other, and it's been in multiple lifetimes.
Yeah.
We'd seen each other, and we got shown, enlightenment, which is where everyone's consciousness is from.
Yeah.
And we were shown it. It was like the best, most pure feeling ever. Like nothing beats that infinite love and amazing feeling.
It's very difficult to tell everyone else what that feels like.
It was incredible. And then it was like, but we decided at that moment, it was like to come back into our bodies. And we landed in our bodies at exactly the same time, heads up, in floods of tears. And it's like, we decide to come here for a reason.
Yeah.
Even though this is so hard and that is the best feeling in the world up there, we decide to come here for, and we don't know, that's the thing, once we come here, we forget the reason why we come.
Yeah.
Our higher self, God, whatever you want to call it, knows why we've come here. And yeah, the past lives thing, I genuinely believe that we've done past lives for sure.
On a lighter note, as a person that's, you know, renowned as being very funny, you ever considered stand-up comedy or acting?
Bruv, I've considered, I want to do everything, and I think there's a few creators like KSI, for example, Logan. When you're like, fuck, I've got ability to anything I put my mind to, I can actually conquer.
Multifaceted, yeah, 100%.
It's like, you can almost feel like you're not doing enough, because while you're doing one thing and putting your all into one thing, there's all these other things that you're maybe neglecting. Stand-up comedy, mate, I was first inspired by Lee Evans.
Oh yeah.
So, and I was like, I could do what he's doing. That's what Internet Melts was. It was like stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Taking things and like...
Oh, is that really what the kind of structure was?
Well, yeah, it was like, I saw, it was Lee Evans, then I saw what Jackmate was doing. Jackmate made videos like getting things up and taking the and I was like, yeah, I can do stand-up comedy, but put things on the internet. I no doubt believe if I committed to that and planned a show, that I would be able to do it successfully. But I also think that about anything. Like I thought that about boxing. Just because you have the idea and you know you can achieve, doesn't mean you 100% will the first time round. No doubt I could, mate, I've trained enough boxing now, I know I could get in there and do a job. I think the overall thing is that anything I put my mind to, I do believe I can conquer. Wrestling.
Oh,
I could fucking be a wrestler. I'm going on impulsive.
You've got a
next
catalogue
week.
of tapes there as well.
Yeah, mate, I can do the moves.
I
can sell the moves.
Yeah.
Go on, punch me in the face. Pretend to punch me in the face.
Ooh. Jesus, look at that.
Oh, do you know what I mean? It's like, I fucking love like wrestling. I genuinely think, so I'm going on Impulsive next week.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, Logan's done the WWE stuff. What's really interesting?
He's really good.
He's so good.
Yeah.
But what I find it crazy that like the first wrestling video he did, like actual WWE, he messaged me to be like, is it all right if I take your idea?
Yeah.
And I was like, go for it, brother. And I just find it like, back when I was doing wrestling videos all the time, they would get like 30 million views. If WWE were open to it then, I wonder if I would have been involved a bit more. But I know you've
never say never.
Never say never. I know they like a tall person though.
Yeah.
5'9" and 3/4.
Yeah, billing yourself at 6 foot doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah, I know. I'd definitely kill that. But the thing about wrestling, people think it's fake.
No.
Agony.
I know someone who went to America and did actual wrestling. It's serious. Like even at like semi-amateur level, it is crazy.
Yeah, getting those thrown on the ground. It's still
hitting the deck over and over again. Like it's hard. What's one piece of advice you could give your younger self that you feel you would really benefit from? Let's just say we saw Joe Weller from 2-3 weeks post KSI result, or maybe earlier, maybe at the start of your career. Something that actually he would take on board as well. That's a tough one, because maybe he doesn't want to listen to people at that point in time.
Stop w***ing.
Yeah? Yeah, fair enough.
No, I would say stop w***ing. But I would also go, don't let, like, I know Anthony Joshua says this, he says, don't let the losses get to your heart, don't let the wins get to your head.
Nice.
Like, see the horizon for what it is, and that is that there's always going to be obstacles and triumphs. Just consistently apply yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get too tied up in one thing, because you can go, all your eggs in this basket, it doesn't pay off the first time. You take that so personally.
Yeah.
It's like, see the bigger picture and just keep on. Stay about 80%. Don't try and do 110% all the time.
It's a very stoic way of thinking of things, isn't it? To never let the peak corrupt you and never let the trough dictate you into feeling worse.
Nothing you do can define you. It almost needs to be like, I define myself. If that thing doesn't pay off, that doesn't now correlate to me being a piece of shit. If I win at that thing, that doesn't now mean I'm the dog's
Yeah, correct.
It's like, just apply yourself and take, relish in the wins and learn from the losses. Like, I know it's very classic.
Do you think he'd listen?
He'd need to be like, when something would happen, then he takes to heart, spell out and be like, look, this is why to not take that to heart.
Yeah.
This is why to see the bigger picture. And with the wins, this is where, like, now don't think that you're indestructible.
Yeah.
Because I remember telling myself, like, I will never lose my funniness, I will never lose my confidence, I will always have this. And then life literally went, there you go, mate,
like
deal with that.
If you attach your identity to something that can be removed, it's tough to get over when that does get removed.
Yeah, mate, no, literally. So, yeah, you can't base any of your self-worth on things that can be taken away.
Correct.
I'd say.
Good advice, mate.
There we go, right,
You'd
what
probably
we
just go, oh, f*** off.
Yeah, no, it would say a lot of that. But, well, to be fair, like, I know on camera, like, younger me, it seemed like this and cocky, whatever. It's still just the same as now. If anything, less confident, like less sure of himself. Like as far
younger Joe, less confident.
Way in real life.
Oh sure, yeah.
To a camera, all my confidence was there. Yeah. But like in real life, no confidence with girls.
Did you funnel that, or you just had nothing left to give in the real world?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
As in, like in the videos, you put more of your soul into that, whereas there's none left in the tank for real life, or you just were two kind of different. I think it was
where I had all these in my head thoughts, like when I'm in real life I'd like see situations and feel a certain way, or want to be a certain thing, or want to express a certain thing, but not necessarily be able to do it in real life, or I didn't feel like understood. When I got with that camera I could let it all out. Sure. I can just take the out of everything and mug it all off, and
that's quite cathartic and therapeutic then, to know that there's an audience of people there for you, even if the real world doesn't take you.
Yeah, no, but
it's very Black Mirror though, isn't it, really? Like,
yeah, I definitely have wanted, in reality though, wanted to have the ability to operate in real life, because 24/7 you're in your real life. It's only like doing the half an hour video that you're able to release that. So I definitely would prefer to have it as it is now.
Yeah, of course. There's been quite a lot of vulnerable moments in this so far, and this doesn't necessarily need to be a vulnerable answer, but what's one thing that fans don't know about you that you're willing to share? I feel like you're quite open at the moment though, especially with the pod.
Yeah, I think I'm if anything too open, really.
Bit,
I let everything out.
Kind of in your mouth gave that away, really, didn't it?
I don't actually do that. Did it 4 or 5 times max.
What's your cheat meal then?
Cheat meal? Ooh, I love a Five Guys, extra cheese, but I also love the Coal Shed in Brighton.
Oh, hello.
Really, really good steak restaurant.
That's free promo.
Yeah, no, mate, they're always booked up. But mate, yeah, that's the thing. Overall, there's not really anything that I.
Do you pride yourself on being that open then, now?
I think they benefit, I benefit when I'm open. Yeah. I definitely feel like that can be detrimental at points as well, because letting everything you're feeling out, like we all have feelings and thoughts, like not being good enough, this, that and the other. But if you speak everything out that you feel...
Yeah, the public's not an agony aunt. It's not like you can't...
Striking the balance with that in the podcast. Like, when we first came back, I started saying everything that I'm feeling. Yeah. And it just sounds like I'm crying every episode. And it's just like, fucking hell. Come on, Joe. Like, feel the feelings, but like, crack on. Past few months, I've definitely been able to deal with whatever I'm feeling. Cool, that's one thing. I'm going to crack on regardless.
Sure.
So, feel the feelings, recognise them, but don't let those
How do you decipher what people
them.
deserve to know and what they don't?
I'm very much making that up. I don't know. I just go.
I
just go based on like in the moment right now. What do I feel like saying?
Sure.
I'll say that.
Yeah. Final question.
Yeah.
What do you want to give to other people that you're happy with?
I think I don't mind if I'm not remembered by anything, but I think having a overall positive impact on people, whether that be them embracing who they are, embracing the struggles, the obstacles, whatever life brings, and feeling like they can deal with it, they're not alone, and there is ways to improve and live a happier, more successful and
Do you reckon you'll ever release a book or be like a motivational
I wouldn't be surprised.
speaker?
I wouldn't be surprised if I
feel
write
like
a
that
book.
could be your destiny a little bit.
Yeah, writing a book, I often journal, and I think like whenever I show it to my mum, she's like, "No, Joe, this is written really well," and I'm like, hang on.
You spell everything correct.
No, but it's like the way in which I feel like when I express authentically, like that's when the magic happens. When I'm trying to like make entertainment or make something sound or be a certain way, then you see through it a bit. So being able to share with people that they can utilize anything for a greater good for themselves and others, I'd say.
It's all well and good developing yourself, but how does that translate to the rest of the
world? Well, as in if you're able to like apply it on yourself, then that means you're able to help others.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're just living for others and getting walked all over,
actually,
you know what I mean? You need to be able to learn from it yourself in order to translate it to others. I feel so. Oh, here he goes. Nice one,
that was brilliant, mate. Thank you.
Nice one, thank you. All right then, what now?
You carry on living life.
Buzzing.